when you read the term decimal. Do you know bills? So in the shop they used to give you bills. Have you observed the rupees will be like this? 0 something else. I am writing this 6. It will be like this. So what do you think these numbers are? So they are only known as the decimals, the decimal numbers. Okay. So you all know about what's a whole number. So whole number means this. It is a whole number. So do you know the place value chart? Okay, once I'll draw it and I'll teach you. Okay. First, I'll draw you the whole number place value chart. So this is ones, tens, hundreds, thousand. So how can express the number 29? So it's very simple. Just when we come from the right, the 9 is in the ones or units place, 2 is in the tens place, 3 is in the hundreds place, and 7 is in the thousands place. So it is read as 7329. So when we expand it, when we write in the expanded form, so what do you mean by expanded form? So you will think 7 plus 3 plus 2 plus 9. No, I'll tell you what's the expanded form. So I'm erasing it, okay? So the same number I'm checking. 7,329. So when we write it in the expanded form, we'll be writing it like this. We can either write like this or we can write like this too. So 3 into 100 is equal to, that like also we can write, as well as we can write like plus and the remaining. So I'll write it and show you. So it will be plus 3 into 100 plus 2 into 9, 2 into 10 plus 9 into 1. So it's known as the expanded form. So what about the number which I told you as the decimals? So we saw that up to the ones period it's ending. And now what about the decimal numbers? So now from the ones place and draw, okay? So it is ending in ones place. So we learned that the whole numbers, they go from right to the ones place. So what about if it goes in the left of the ones place? So they are only known as the decimal numbers. So they will be read like 10th, 100th, 1000th. So writing also they will be writing like this. And don't get confused that this is 1,000. It's not 1,000. It's actually 10th. And for 100 they will be writing like this. 100th. No, sorry. 100 and 1000, the same. So this is how we use to express the decimal numbers. And I'll write some one example. 7.329. So it was 7,329, and you will be thinking that this is 7,329, the old number. But here I have just put a small type of change. Do you know what's that? The point. So wherever you see that point, remember that here will be a separation. These two are both different from these whole numbers. So it will be like this. 7.329. So this is called as the decimal fraction. This is called as the decimal fraction, and this is called as the decimal number or the decimal place. The numbers which are in the decimals, they are known as the decimals. So these we already know that they are expressed at 10th, 100th and 1000th. So the next topic, now we have learned about the decimal numbers and what are they, everything else. So representation them on the number line. How we can represent them? The number line. Okay, now we can learn. So now we know how to represent a decimal number on these type of place value chart. So in a number line. So before that let me explain what's 10th, 100th and 1000th. 10th means, it simply, just wait. It simply means like this. So here are about 10 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here are about 10 parts. So now I'm shading these two parts. I've seen that they have been shaded, okay? These two parts have been shaded. So we know, I had told you in the fraction class, so we'll be writing it like this. 2 by 10. So this is numerator, denominator, that we know. So how can we write this as a decimal number? So we can write it like, so 10. What do I mean by this? So here we will be just dividing it by 10. So it will be coming here and here will be the point and here will be adding a 0. So that's how this number can be changed into 0.2. Or you don't need to confuse like that. 2 by 10. So you know 10th place. So in 10th place we will be writing as 0.1. So easy. So we can write like 0.2. We don't need to confuse this. So this is the 10th place. 100th place, same. 1000th also same. The same method will be following for the rest. Okay friends, so now we can learn how to represent it on a number line. So what is a number line? So it is a small type of line which we use to represent the numbers, right? Okay, now how can I represent a decimal number? So here I'll write some decimal numbers. So here I'm going to represent 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and 1. 1 means 1 whole. So how can I represent it? First thing is, divide it into two parts. First see the first see the wholes. Here 0 and 1. So you need to divide it between 0 and 1. If it's higher means you can divide it to 2, 3, it goes on. So 0, 1. So now we need to divide this into 10 parts. So here are about 10 parts. So how can I represent the 0.1? So the 0.1 will be here. This is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and 1 is 0. So this is how we used to represent our decimal numbers on these type of number lines. So it can be not like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. It can be also like 1.2, 2, 3.1. It can be like that. We don't need to confuse you like that. But remember, if it's like starting from 1, we don't need to write 0. We can start by 1. If it's starting by 2, start by 2. Like that. So this is how we used to represent the decimal numbers on a number line. Same like how we used to represent whole numbers. Okay. And the next is about conversion. Okay. So we already learned that there are two types of numbers. The decimal fraction and decimal numbers. So decimal fraction means this. What about decimal number? Oppose. So how can I write this? How can I convert it? How did I convert it into this number? So here see, it's tens place. So 2 by 10. So we already know tens means, I forgot to explain you, tens means 0.1, hundredth means 0.01, thousand means 0.001, then it goes up. Okay, so here 0.1. So this 0.1 into 2. Can you understand? So into 2 it becomes 0.2. So that like we can say easy method. If you are so clever, you can directly do it. So 2 by 10. Oh, 0.2. That like you can directly do if you are clever. So how can I convert this into this? How can I convert this into this? It's not the same. So just see that the placement of this decimal point. So this is called a decimal point. So where it's located? 10th place. Easy. You can understand? So this is how we used to convert a decimal fraction into a decimal number and a decimal number into a decimal fraction. Understood, friends? Okay, I will explain you with one more number. Okay. Okay. Now, what are the numbers like this? You're getting confused? Easy. I'll tell you how. So, you know tables. Then it will be very easy for you. So 4 by 24. I have told you about equivalent fractions. You remember? Even if it's like this, it can be converted into a decimal number. So we know that the decimal fractions will be always 10 by 10 by 100. The multiples of 10. But here's 25. So see how we can divide with 10. So this goes in the fourth table. So into 4. So this also into 4. So it becomes 16 by 100. Now convert this into decimal number. Understood, friends? So even if it can be like this number or any other number, it can be. Just see, think, divide it by 10. By which number it can go? Divide it until you do not get any reminder. Divide. We will be learning about it in the division. So divide it until you don't get a reminder and just multiply with that number and you will be getting the answer. And now just change it into a decimal number. Convert it. Understood, friends? Okay. So now we know how to convert the decimal numbers. Okay. Now we are going to learn about the comparison. So how to compare two decimal numbers. So I'm going to write three questions. Just wait a minute. So 3 decimal numbers are here. So here are 4 pairs, 4 questions of numbers. So now I'm gonna solve this and I'm gonna compare which one is greater. This we are gonna compare. Okay. So 0.1, 0.2. First step is check the whole numbers. So here is 0. So we don't need to check both. We can leave it. Check the decimal number. So which one is greater? So 2. So we need to write. So this will be greater than this, right? So this is how we used to compare two decimal numbers. So I want to tell you one more thing, but before that let me complete this. So this will be greater. Okay, now what's like and unlike? So in fraction itself we know what's a like fraction, unlike fraction. Here too. So this is unlike. Look at the 10th place. So you look at the point, it's in 10th place. This is also 10th. So these are known as unlike, like fractions, like decimals. Okay. Here just check it. This is in 100th place, this is in 10th place. Here this is 10th place and this is in 10th place. So this is like but this is unlike. So this is not as like decimals and unlike decimals. Okay, and here too when comparing the both, this is smaller, this is greater. So you don't need to just check both the decimal number. If the whole number is able to be compared, so this is the greatest. Here, what can we do? Here check the number of decimal numbers 2. Here only 1. What can we do? Yes, our friend 0. 0 comes now. We need to add in 0. We need to add in 0 and check which one is greater. Here 0, here 1. So this is only greater. Understood, friends? Here 10.2 and 5.1. This we can directly do, but I changed the value of the whole number. So this is only greater. Understood, friends? So this is how we used to compare the decimal numbers. It's very easy if you know about like fractions and like decimals and unlike decimals. And the next one is addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. So now we learned about all the basic of these decimal numbers. So only if you know about these, compare everything else, you will be learning about. We will be easily solving the sums. Okay. So the first sum for the addition is 0.1 plus 0.11 plus 0.2. So how to add both these? Just add it directly. You can add it directly. But one thing is 2 digits, 1 digit. Can you find that? So you can't add them directly. So it will be written like this. Plus, who comes? Our friend 0. So he will be added to this number. So now add these both numbers and you will be getting the answer as 0.31. If you want, you can write it like this too. If you like to. In a fraction or like in the decimal number fraction. So this is how we used to add the numbers. It can be the same. It can have the same number of decimal numbers or different. So even if it has a whole number, same. Just check it. If it's not like add a 0 and now at the both you'll be getting the answer. So you'll be getting the answer as 1.31. And now you'll be getting a small confusion. So we wrote down now all these steps. How can we write this into a decimal fraction? It's very easy. So you know how to write a whole number in fraction, right? So 1. So we wrote 1. And this point and this 31. So this point is in what place? 100th place. 31 by 100. Understood, friends? It's very easy. Okay, so this is how we used to add the decimals. Okay, now we can go to subtraction. Same method will be following subtraction. So, how can I subtract this? I can subtract it directly, right? So, the answer will be as follows. 1.10. It's written as 1 by 10. So, but if it's 1 by 10, 10 by 10, you don't need to convert it. You can just leave it. As in decimal number system, if you just convert it, so this will be as 1 plus 1. So, it will become 2. So, it's not a bit, it's not similar to the what method we are following. So, we don't need to convert it and we can just leave it and we can go. So, this is how we should subtract. Same method of addition. So, even if I just remove this 1, so we'll be adding a 0 and we'll be subtracting. And the answer will be 1.1111. Understood, friends? So this is how we used to subtract. So adding and subtracting decimals is very easy. But now comes the complicated one, multiplication. So you don't need to confuse it with it. I tell you a very easiest method. So I don't need to write it like this, so that it will be very easy for you. It can be like this. So you can eat up these points and you can multiply them as whole numbers. Very easy method. You can multiply them as whole numbers. So the answer will be as follows. And you leave it. Bye-bye. I'm going. You'll be going. No. Don't forget the one you eaten. That's the point. So even though you multiply it as a whole number, you must not forget it. So now what's the answer of this? And you will be thinking, so here are 10th, here 100th, what can I do? You will be thinking like that. I'll tell you an easy trick. So the actual method is 10 into 100, which is equal to 1000. But I don't need to confuse it with that. I'll tell you an easy method. Count the number of decimal numbers. 1, 2, 3. So it needs to be in 3 place. So 1, 2, 3. Over. So this is how we used to multiply the numbers. I think so you are confused. I'll tell you, I'll explain it with you. I'll explain it with one more sum. Okay. Okay. So the other sum is 2.1 into 5.21. So it's very easy. I told you to eat these. we got is 10,941. So I told you we should not leave. So here count the number of decimal numbers. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So just rub the comma with the decimal point. So this is how we used to multiply the numbers. So this is also very simple for you. I made it very simple, right? So now what about division? Very easy. 2.1 divided by. So first we will learn to divide with natural numbers, whole numbers. Then we can go to decimal numbers. By no, not by 1. Now change this now. It's very easy. 5.10 divided by 4. So the same method, the division algorithm, we can do. So this goes in 1. And the next step is so important, that's the decimal point. Once you completed this step, you need to just add one decimal point, and only you need to walk to the next step. Don't leave it and tell bye-bye and go. You need to write the decimal point and then only you need to go to the next step. So now bring down the 11. So you will be going in second table, 8. So 11 minus 8 will be 3. This comes down. And 7, 28, and the answer is 2. So quotient is 1.27 and the remainder is 2. So this is very easy. Normal division, but we just need to put the decimal point. What about if it's like this? Confusion part. Okay, I'll make it very simple. So even if it's like this, 5.10 by 4.2. So the method I told you, 1000th place in the multiplication. So we won't be following that method. Like I told you, 10 into 100. That method we'll be following. So here 100th and here 10th. So what if we multiply by 10, we'll be getting 100. It's by 10. So 10 into 10 into 10 by 10 is equal to 51.0 by 42. So now we need to divide. Can you understand? So this is how we can just convert this into a natural number. So now we can divide. So I'll divide and show. Okay. Okay. So the question is 51.0 by 42. So you'll be going in ones table. So 11 minus 2, 9. And don't forget the point. And by 0, so just see with what number if you multiply, you'll be getting that number. So this one be coming as it's a bigger number. So into 2. So 84, yeah, it's coming. By 84, 6 over. So the quotient is 1.2 and the remainder is 6. Understood, friends? So this is how we used to add, subtract, divide, and we used to do the multiplication. So what about the uses of decimals? So wherever we use it. So this topic actually comes in the topic of comparison. Okay. Oh. So you know all about some units. You know what units? Meter, centimeter, kilogram, kilogram, gram, milligram, kiloliter, liter. You know all of these, right? Milliliter, everything. So you know all the 1 meter is equal. You know all the formulas, right? So 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. Here, 1 meter same. Just converse. 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. So what's the 1 centimeter is equal to? So it is 1 by 100 meter. So the answer will be 0.01 meter. I think so you can understand, but I'll explain you with one more unit formula. That is 100 pies is equal to 1 rupee. So 1 pies is equal to 1 by 100 rupees, which is equal to 0.01 rupees. Okay, now I'll explain how we did it. So we all know 100 pies. So 100 pies, when together we'll be getting 1 rupee. So 1 pies is equal to divided. So 1 by 100. So you don't need to put the division algorithm and do all those things. You can directly convert into a decimal number. So it's 0.01. It can be also like this. So it can be like some other number. So here it can be 2 pies. Okay, convert 2 pies into rupees. It can be like that. So I'll be explaining that by now. Okay, now let's see about the kilograms, about mass and weight. So now I'll be putting a small problem. Gram. So now I'm gonna convert this into a kilogram. So we all know 1 gram is equal to 1 by 1000 kilogram. 1000 kilogram. So 2 grams is equal to 2 by 1000 kilograms, which is equal to 0.002 kilograms. Can you understand? So it can be like a sum as well as it can be like a formula. So same method will be following for liter. So liter also will be getting the same answer, 0.002 liter. As 1 ml is equal to 1 by 1000 liter. So now we know where and all we used to use the decimals, and now we are gonna solve word problems. Okay. Now I'll tell you a small problem, okay. So there's a person called as Raju. So he spent this much rupees to buy a small teddy bear. This much rupees to buy a lollipop. And how much rupee did he spend totally? So we need to add. So now I'll be writing. So this is teddy bear. This is lollipop. So lollipop, no. For teddy bear he is spending, no, I'll take a bigger number, 5.1. For lollipop he is taking 1.01. So now we need to add. So how can he add? So here comes our friend. So now, but please, I'm just telling you, don't put the 0 in the question. So when the person who is correcting your paper may see that you have wrote the question wrongly, write it as a step. Okay? So write it as a step. 1 by 10 by 1 by so 5.10 will be becoming as 5.10, and this is 1 by 0.1. So now we need to add the both. So the answer is 6.11. Will you leave it and go? No. Rupees. Understood, friend? And now we need to write a statement. Okay, now I'll tell you another one, sir. So the cost. Okay. The cost of 1.01 meter of cloth. So 1.01 meter of cloth is equal to rupees 10. No, there rupees 100. So what's the cost of 2.1 meter of cloth? Can you understand? So 1 meter of cloth we can take like that. We can solve this and next we can go. So 1 meter of cloth is this much. Then 2.1 meter of cloth is, just multiply it into, so just 2.1 into this, into 100. So you don't need to just multiply. I'll tell you an easy method. Into means you will be going in this side. Divide means you will be going in this side. So here, so 1, so 0, again 2, over. You can stop it now. So just add 1 point. If you want it, you can add to 0. So then what's the answer? 210.0. You can understand? So I have just multiplied it and I have found. So now what if the question is like this? So Tina spent this much, Tina exercised for 0.01 minutes. And much horse. Okay, now we need to come back. So just see the whole number. So this is only greater. Raju's is greater. And now by how much? We need to find it by how much? By just subtracting. So when we subtract this, we need to borrow. And this will become 10. So 9, 0 and 2. 2.09. So Raju exercised 2.01 minutes more than this guy. So this is how we used to solve the word problems. Okay, now I'll tell you one more sum and then we can end up this section. Okay. So a boy spent this much rupees on buying a watermelon. He gave this much piece to his neighbor, and how much part is he has with him? That is, Rahul he bought this. I'll take it in mass. He bought 1.01 kg of watermelon. He gave to his neighbor 0.9 kg and to his friend 0.2 kg. How much is left with him? This is the total. This is the neighbor and this is his friend. So how much is left with him? So to find this, we need to just add these both. Can you understand? We need to add these both. Then only we'll be knowing how much he has. He has his loss. So 0.2 plus. So we can do it directly. So when direct addition will be getting 0.11. So with this answer we need to subtract this 1.01. So we will be writing like this: 1.01 minus that 0.11. So the answer is 0. This will become 10 minus 1 9.0. So the answer is 0.90 grams. No, kilograms. Understood, friends? So this is how we used to solve the word problems, and this is where we use the decimals, daily life. So not only in bills, in many places you may have seen the numbers like these, 1.01. Okay, friends. So we can now end up this section. And in today's class, we learned about what are the decimal numbers. So how we can represent it, and conversion, then comparison and addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. Then the uses of decimal numbers and problems related of the decimal numbers. So hope you enjoyed my class today, friends. Bye bye. See you in the next class.